Welcome to the Movie Talk Show with Dave D.C. Kalari from DC Unboxed and from the Screenwriter's Room, the screenwriter himself, Rob Alvarenga. Now, here is your host, Joe Zapata.
What's up, guys? Joe Zapata here. Another week of movie talk. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got the new Spider-Man trailer that dropped. We're going to talk about it. It was only a few hours ago, but we are going to talk about it. I'm Joe Zapata. I'm here with Dave, D.C. Kalari. What's up, Dave?
Fellas, how we doing?
Good. And, of course, the screenwriter, Rob Alvarenga. What's up, Robbie?
What's going on, man? Go New York,
Go
New
Knicks,
York,
go
go.
Knicks, man. You going to parade tomorrow or no?
No, I'm too old for that, man.
Stay away, man. Stay away from the parade.
I'm good.
I'm glad the Knicks won too, but I'm going to stay away from that parade. 100%. All right, guys, let's get started. Anyway, so we were talking about The Social Network. They actually had a sequel that actually is now dropping. Well, it's not really a sequel, I guess. It's another part of the movie that's coming out. And I saw the trailer, The Social Reckoning. It dropped, and I thought the trailer was really good. Now, they recast Jesse Eisenberg's character, and I did not know Jesse Eisenberg refused to take that part. They offered him the role to come back, and he said, no, I don't want to do it. Apparently, one of the reasons is he doesn't like Mark Zuckerberg and everything, so whatever, but he says he does not want to do it. He says, but Jeremy Strong looks really great as the new Mark Zuckerberg. I thought it was a great trailer. I thought it was really good, and if it's anything like the first movie, I'm down to see it. Rob, did you see this trailer, this Social Reckoning, and what did you think about it?
I thought it looked excellent. I actually didn't know about the recasting for those reasons. Why? Because I thought the casting was like, it made sense because it's gonna be an older Zuckerberg now.
Mhm.
And to your point, this truly is like it's more of a continuation of the first movie, and which it's the right approach. Sorkin, I think it's the original writer, is now directing this movie. So actually now that seeing this trailer, I have pretty good hopes for this. I think it's actually gonna be really good. I you know what, we finally got the theme of what they're gonna be focusing on, and it's just what I expect. It's timely. It's really centering around like just the effect that that's a social media company like Facebook can have on young minds, on people that just get addicted to those social media applications, and to the point where it's like they're seeing that as their reality. So anything that comes back at them makes them feel like just it gets reflected on them poorly, or just chips away that self-confidence because they see other people, more glamorous people, and people are just happy and they're not. It's a real thing, and I think a part in that trailer mentioned that a statistic about suicide rates within a young demographic, and it's because you talk about cyberbullying, but this is really the genesis of that, because with all that interaction now everybody feels safe and saying whatever they want behind a screen, and showing kind of like the real effects of it, and it's kind of already suggesting that Zuckerberg should have had more of a stewardship over this to protect this. But even in the trailer, you could tell like he hasn't really grown much since the original movie, where it's like it's all about the bottom line, about how powerful his company could be, and therefore how powerful he could be. So it's another look into his narcissism in a way, and how it affects pretty much the world because of his platform.
Yep, 100%. Dave, did you see this trailer? What do you think about it? Did you like the first one? Do you want to see this one?
So the Social Network I did enjoy. I think what made it interesting is that, again, I don't know how accurate most of that stuff was, and everyone seemed kind of caricatured between Timberlake and Eisenberg. I still enjoyed it, and it made sense at the time because Facebook had exploded into this thing that like no one really knew where it kind of came from and like how that came to be. So the story in and of itself was interesting for what Facebook was at the time. So even though I agree with everything that Rob said, who is this movie for? Like, I get it, but I feel this is like some kind of weird, quiet activism. Like, the people who are going to see this are the people who I think really don't like social media and Facebook already, and they're just going to go and have their conspiracy theories and things confirmed. And people who don't really care what happens on social because they're not on it enough, or they just don't succumb to like the doom scrolling or all the nonsense that's on there. I don't know if anyone's gonna care, because whatever they show us and whatever we know that's happened, it's still here. Like, it's not going anywhere. So even though there's plenty of things that aren't good about it, and I don't even know how you reevaluate and change it. You know, whether it's the bullying or like the suicide rates and all these things that Robbie mentioned. Like, I don't know what we do about that as a whole, unless everyone's like, listen, this stuff has to go. So like I said, I feel like it's quiet activism, but I don't know. I just don't know who it's for, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll mention one thing, you know, because I think I mentioned that when I first talked about the trailer, the original, not the trailer, the news that this was coming out, that instead of having like the separation between writer and director, you now have writer and director doing this. So so there is going to be, I'll admit, there'll be more of an opportunity to put in their own, you know, thoughts, biases, or beliefs into this. So you'll probably see some of that. But what I hope is that it kind of minimizes that, because one thing I am interested in is because, you know, these things, these statistics, you see them, and you know they are what they are. I'm curious to see what's happening behind the scenes. You know, how are they looking at that? And if you talk about an investigative reporter, you know, looking into this stuff, you're gonna have this person that's kind of like not knowing and then get brought into all this. That's gonna be the audience's eyes as far as like the behind the scenes of like how is this looking behind, you know, like the executive offices of Facebook. And I hope that angle, at the very least, just so it shows an honest look, like this is how we see it. It may not be like, you know, this is our actions, may not agree with it, whatever, but just be honest. This is what it is, and let the audience decide, which is what any movie should offer an audience. Let you decide what you think of this movie and whether it's good or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll wait and see. It comes out in theaters. It looks pretty good for the trailer, but you know, who knows what's going to do at the box office. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and this is something I brought up because the women in my life were like, love this goddamn movie. So this is why I said, you know what, let me bring this up. And they're like, oh, you need to talk about this, Joe. I said, all right, girl. And that is Romy and Michelle's reunion, part 2. Now, there was the first one from, I think it was 97 was the first one. Yeah, I think it was 97 was the comedy. Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. Lisa Kudrow and Mira Sorvino are both coming back. They're reprising their role. I don't even remember seeing it. I think I remember saw some things of it, but whatever. But my girls in my life, they all love this. They said, oh, we can't wait for this. Now, it is coming on Hulu. So it's going to be on Hulu. And they kept looking forward to this. They love those characters. And I know a lot of women that do. So I'm bringing it up and I'm going to talk about it. Dave, since we're men and we were talking about women a little while ago, do you have any interest in seeing Romy and Michelle?
The only thing I remember the first one was fairly enjoyable. And they made up the fact that they invented Post-it notes. That's what I remember.
Yes, that's right.
Mira Sorvino and Lisa Kudrow back then were fantastic. I mean, they're still talented. I just really haven't seen them in anything since then. Am I interested in this? No.
No.
I wasn't that interested in the original. Like, it ended up being fine. I don't even remember how and when I saw it. I just remember seeing it. I'm like, yeah, this is cute, but it wasn't such a compelling story that I want to see what's going on 30 years later.
Yep, exactly. It's a cult classic, apparently, and all the women love it. So I was like, oh, boy. Rob, maybe your wife loved this movie. I don't know. You want to see this? What's going on?
All right, guys. Don't take away my man card, but I actually liked the first one.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
Before you pass judgment, let me at least explain why. There's legit. First of all, I didn't see it in the theaters, but I actually ended up catching it after the fact. And it was, one of those things where just like, these girls are funny. Let me see if it's cool. And it was enjoyable. Plus, I thought they both were like really. I was attracted to both of them. I thought they were really cute as hell. And then they were wearing like these short little skirts. I'm like, why not? Let's give it a shot. Anyway.
Okay.
But the movie actually, I found it was entertaining enough. It actually it's funny than I think some people will give it credit for. It's basically a female version of Beavis and Butthead for the most part.
Right.
So if you look at it that way, that's kind of like what you got. And then what I remember is that the iconic moment of the movie was the dance at the end where they're dancing with Alan Cummings at the end. And I just thought it was just freaking hilarious because they were playing it to Time After Time, and it was I was just like, I don't know what's going on, but this is funny.
Yeah, well, it's expected to drop on Hulu soon, but who knows?
Yeah, but to Hulu, but the thing is that now, given that I had a good time with it, doesn't mean that I'm running to Hulu to actually watch this thing because
Okay.
it's following, unfortunately, another trend that we're noticing where it's like they're gonna make a sequel to a movie that happened generations ago, and I'm like, come on. I mean, I like that movie, but not that much where I think it needed a sequel and such. So, I mean, good that's going to be on Hulu. It's probably going to do okay with it. They've done a couple of like movies sequels, straight to Hulu sequels for other movies or other properties that took place a long time ago, and it seems to be like a niche of theirs. So good for them. I imagine it'll be cute, but I doubt it's going to be anything. If that original was anything special, I doubt this one's going to capture that.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. And I don't see Lisa Kudrow or Mira Sorvino in anything much lately either. So hopefully it does well for them. We'll wait and see. Our next topic is something I really enjoyed, and that was they did 21 Jump Street, and now they did 22 Jump Street. Now they're doing they skipped 23, and now they're going to 24 Jump Street. I enjoyed those movies. I thought they were funny. I'm Jeff.
Yes.
I love them.
Hey, come on, let's say Dylan, bro.
Hey,
That's
man,
so great.
A Mexican Wolverine. Remember, I thought they were funny, So I'm curious to see what's going to happen in this one. And at 24 Jump Street, I'm looking forward to this one. I think it'll be pretty good. Now, I know Jonah Hill's involved in writing some of it too, and I know Ice Cube's coming back. But since he got it thin, I don't know if he lost some of his funniness. I don't know. It's kind of weird to say, but I don't know. Sometimes being overweight, like Chris Farley, it gives you the funny part to it. If you can understand what I mean. But I'm looking forward to this 24 Jump Street. I want to see it. Dave, what do you think? 24 Jump Street.
Well, I just like that they're saying it. They waited so long that they just skipped over 23 and went right to 24.
Yeah,
It's just funny. It's really funny.
Right.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we all watched the original show, right?
Yeah.
21 Jump Street, and it was a fairly serious, like, dramatic show, and the cast was great. The show was good, and they had the Richard Grieco's spinoff Booker.
Yep.
And I didn't really know what to expect with 21 Jump Street. And then I was like, this is hilarious. Like, this is everything. This is nothing like the show. I think I like it better than the show. And I thought the sequel was just as good.
Mm-hmm.
I have high hopes for this.
Okay.
I'll definitely see it for sure.
Yeah, me too. I'll definitely see it. Rob, are you a 24 Jump Street fan? You can look for and see this? What is going on?
Yeah. I will see it because I agree with you guys. I thought the first two were amazing. Really, really funny stuff. There is that concern because I think we you brought it up. We talked about it before. With Jonah Hill, it's weird. Ever since he lost that weight, he's kind of like he's not the same guy. And I'm thinking like with his character in the Jump Street franchise. I just hope that whatever new look on life that he's going with right now is going to come. I hope he's just not going to reinvent the character that we know to be up to this point within the franchise. So if we go to the theaters, we see 24 Jump Street, and the Jonah Hill character is just somebody that's like completely different. It's like it's kind of like what I mentioned before with writing. You can't just do a 180 in a character that people have got to know and that you care about. So hopefully he doesn't turn into a complete jerk in doing this, because that's just going to ruin everything. Because I do think that chemistry between him and Channing Tatum, that's the magic sauce here. That's what makes these movies funny. They're playing off each other. So Ice Cube, he's good for what he is in the movies, but that's the only thing I wonder, because Jonah Hill's writing this. He has a new look on life. He's thinner. I just hope that, with the weight loss, it wasn't any funny loss. So
yes, 100%. I agree with you. So they're still early in production. So I don't know. They don't have a release date yet, but it is coming. So we'll look forward to when it comes. Something in the DCU world I wanted to bring up, and actually is Jimmy Olsen has a show coming out there in production. They're filming it now. It's the Jimmy Olsen spinoff from Superman. That Jimmy Olsen, he's going to have a show. And apparently the villain in that is going to be Gorilla Grodd, which is going to lead to, almost like Lanterns, a Gorilla Grodd series on HBO. And that sounds pretty interesting, because I know with James Gunn behind it, and he said he's doing this, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Rob, I'll start with you. Jimmy Olsen show, are you interested? I mean, his character was great in Superman. I love that character in Superman. And now Gorilla Grodd also being the main villain in this. What do you think about this?
Uh, I'm not certain. I mean, I
Okay.
think I think Gunn is going to do, create a Gorilla Grodd version that's going to be really, it's going to be different. It's going to be
Yep.
different for where it comes to. I expect that because that's just kind of like his shtick with these like really oddball characters that he just loves tinkering with.
Mm-hmm.
So I could imagine whatever he's got plans for Gorilla Grodd, it's probably gonna work. And he probably, obviously that's the reason why this probably could be a spinoff with focusing on Gorilla Grodd. So it will most likely work. I'm excited for the Jimmy Olsen show because of the actor that's playing Jimmy Olsen. Because I agree with you, he was great
Yeah.
in Superman. I think he just had his own. He had his own vibe that you could see a show based on him, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be really entertaining and funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, him playing off Gorilla Grodd, uh, it's not what I had in my bingo card
Mm-hmm.
for the show. So I'm open minded, because I think Gunn he's earned that from us as the audience. So like, just let him cook and let's see what he's got.
Okay. 100%. Dave, did you like Jimmy Olsen character in Superman? Do you like the show idea and Gorilla Grodd?
Well, Gunn's really reaching back in the bag here. I mean, I could appreciate a big swing as much as anybody. Now, I'm not super surprised because if you remember Peacemaker, he brings up Batmite. Like, he's doing everything.
Yep.
So the show could be interesting. I did like the Jimmy Olsen character in Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting enough to have his own show where we introduce a fairly prominent villain. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think did Marvel in was after Endgame, and they started to try to do all these interconnected TV series, and this connects to the movies, and then you got to watch the show, and it didn't. It flopped. It failed. So so far it's been okay because they're not doing a ton of shows. Really, we've had Peacemaker,
yes,
and Creature Commandos.
And Lanterns is coming. Yeah, Lanterns is coming, but it's not here yet.
So it's the volume is less, but I don't know if they keep doing shows and really obscure ones like this. Even if the show is good, is it going to do what he wants it to do? I don't know. So I'm interested, but does it also mean like long-term success for DC Studios if he decides to keep going down these kind of rabbit holes? I don't know. Like I said, for Marvel, we saw it didn't really work.
Yeah, 100%. And, they asked James Gunn about these shows and Gorilla Grodd and everything, and he says, look, because they also asked him about Justice League, and he said he is in no rush to do Justice League. He's going to take his time before he reaches that top.
Yeah, because Zack Snyder's doing it, guys.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly. But we'll see. I mean, they're filming the Jimmy Olsen show now, so we'll hear more about it as we come. All right, the next subject I want to talk about is actually something interesting that, and I want to get you guys' opinion on this. AI changing Hollywood. There is actually last week at the film festival in Tribeca, it was the first AI movie was released, and I forget the director's name. What his name was? It was Dreams of Violet was the name of the movie, and the director's name was Ash Kusha, and he produced it for only $2,000. He did the movie, and it's getting a lot of traction at the film festival. First AI film. And apparently, it's making some of the actors nervous. I talked to 2 actors from The Sopranos, and, they tell me, with all this stuff going on, there's not a lot of jobs, and they're not really getting what they want, and they're scared AI is going to take that away from them. So, Rob, tell me, what do you think about AI, the future of films? You're a writer. What do you think about this?
So I'm gonna take this from an approach of not just being a writer, but somebody that is in process of trying to make their own content and more own films.
Okay.
So this is one thing that you have to understand why this is now becoming prevalent, and if this thing actually has any type of success, this is the roadmap where Hollywood should be nervous. So, and it's, to be honest, it's all Hollywood's fault. So I'm gonna say that. This guy, I was reading the behind the scenes of what he did. It's not a full on, like, he didn't just type in prompts for this for the AI to do its thing. He actually used actors, but basically used them as like multiple times, and then he created the environment to actually do the actual shot, because it's actually a movie. It's like a documentary style type of movie
Yeah.
of what's happening in Iran, and he
Around,
explains like,
yes.
since I can't film in Iran, and I'm from Iran, I know
Mhm.
what's happening, but in order for me to show you what's going on, I need to do this movie this way, because there's no way I can actually go into Iran and make the film that I want to make.
Mhm.
How that relates to me is that if I have an idea that I write, and I'm like, you know what, I really, really want to see this put together and shot. For me to actually put together a feature on my own with money that I'm gonna hope to like draw in from people that believe in my idea. On top of that, putting together the actual organization of the crew, the cameras, the editing, all that stuff there, that's not the problem. If doing that, it's the cost. It
Mhm.
is very, very expensive to put together anything that looks good, that's made by humans completely. So, and that's something that I still subscribe to, because there's an art to that. But for anyone that's trying to break in, and show a vision of what they're capable of doing,
Mhm.
this is kind of like the blueprint. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna keep me away, if all the gatekeepers are gonna keep me away from trying to make my stuff, and I try and do my stuff, and if it doesn't look good, I'm not going anywhere. But with AI, it actually gives me a chance to be seen, to be
Mhm.
noticed, to be actually make myself money as a filmmaker, and actually make this an actual profession. So that's why Hollywood should be nervous. The thing with Hollywood, the reason why I'm explaining that this is Hollywood's fault, is because of the actual way they're going about making their money. We've talked about this. They believe the only way to make money at the box office is giving you sequel after sequel, reimaginings. We're talking about like sequels from movies from like ages ago, um, retreads, things of like IP properties that already exist, and they're hoping to capitalize on a base that's already there, as opposed to creating something new,
Mhm.
as opposed to giving somebody a shot that actually has something good. You know, Try it. That's what I feel like in the 80s we did. We were trying to do new stuff. And they were giving people opportunities, chances. But once the 80s passed, it's like the gate closed behind them. And people like me and anyone that actually has any talent, it's been a struggle to just do stuff there. So this guy here said, screw it. I'm gonna use the thing that scares everybody, AI, and make my film.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's getting a lot of push at the film festival. Gennaro with the Tribeca Film Festival, they're all looking into this, and they're all kind of saying, "Oh, maybe this is the way to go." Dave, what do you think about AI and if it changes Hollywood?
Well, I've seen Terminator, and I know it doesn't end well. Uh,
Facts.
I don't love AI, but there are particular ways to use it without it being bastardized, and really just like it lowers the bar of entry for everyone, which can be good, as Rob said, but that's also can be a bad thing, because any Joe Schmo who can type a prompt in can get something done. And I still believe that if you're going to use it as a tool, you should have some level of proficiency with your writing or storytelling or something. So the way that this guy did it, if it's going to be used, this is fine. Like, I'm okay with it being like this, because it's just really taking his ideas and taking actors and just like using AI to smooth out the edges. And
Mhm.
funny enough, even just today, like an hour ago, my friend Feek sent me a new worship song that he had done. But I sent him a demo of a full instrumental song that he puts into Suno, and he tells it, keep these parts of the song. So the AI generated song you hear is my music, like note for note. And then
Wow.
he just does he types his lyrics in, and he gives the prompts of like the type of thing he wants and whatever, and all the lyrics are his, and then he just kind of types out what kind of voice he wants. So like when I hear that song, I'm like, that's our song. Like, I wrote the stuff, and AI just put the performance to it. Even though, like, if you guys heard it, you'd be like, yeah, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
So while I don't love AI, I think there's very particular ways to use it and use it intelligently.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping that if that's what happened here, I don't think it takes over, because for all the AI videos I've seen of people, you can
Mhm.
I can tell when their affect in their voice and the emotion doesn't really change, and everything's just very kind of like a monotone monologue delivery,
Mhm.
and people do look a very particular way. So I still think full AI in that regard really takes you out of the immersive experience of a performance and what you're looking at. So I don't really see it taking over the way people are afraid of. Like, think about what was it, like Attack of the Clones, right? Like that was fully shot digitally, and people were like, that movie looks like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like people can be scared. I get why they are, but like look at what people really kind of gravitate towards. I don't think music is harder to decipher because there's a lot more things going on, even with real people when they make music, and it's just auditory. There's nothing to look at, so you can't really tell. Like no one knows what a computerized electric guitar sounds like as opposed to a real electric guitar, but people can tell when environments don't look right or when people don't move right. So I understand why people are afraid. I just don't think I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll mention one more thing because I did see the trailer for this thing, and you definitely could tell where the AI is.
Yeah.
Because to Dave's point, right now the way AI is, it really relies on a lot of still shots that are kind of zooming in, kind of like people just moving very slowly. You can't really give it too much instructions because then you're gonna start getting like the 6-7 fingers thing kind of deal happening. So, but for what I saw there, the way I look at it, this is the worst AI is ever gonna be. I mean, it's only gonna get better. So that right there, it's like the next time someone uses this, which by the way, to echo it, this guy did use it. I still believe that there's nothing like actually seeing a movie that's shot on film, because it just there's that magic to it, that film to it where you just like it's not digital, it's old style film. Spielberg, when you see Disclosure Day, you'll know what I mean. It has a distinct look to it, and that's what makes it for a great movie experience. This here, the way I'm looking at it, is more like this is getting your foot in the door, forcing your way through the door. To be quite honest, because we're seeing it in other ways. Hollywood's chasing after these YouTube directors now because of Obsession and Backroom. So they see that people can actually make their own audiences on their own, and force their way into mainstream. And I think this is going to be another avenue for filmmakers to do so.
Mm-hmm. One of the actors I was talking to says that he's a little bit nervous because he says there's only like 10 big names in Hollywood that like Robert Downey Jr., The Rock, that it's going to drive down some of these actors' salaries. That's what he's kind of nervous about because they said, hey, we pay you this much money, but you know what? We're going to do it left with AI. And that's what he's a little bit nervous about. Do you guys think it's going to affect maybe the production budgets or actor salaries?
I think it does initially a little bit until it doesn't. I just don't think it pans out. So I think we kind of go back to where we are. The problem is that I'm surprised things haven't changed more than they have just because of the landscape of cinema since COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like almost even the good movies don't do great.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't even know what a good box office is anymore because something didn't make $1 billion. We have the few really random movies like the Super Mario Brothers or like the Minecrafts or whatever, but I feel like budgets are already kind of down. I mean, Disclosure Day cost $120 million, I think, something like that. Yeah. I have no idea what it made, but I saw it the other day. I really enjoyed it. Like that's fucking filmmaking, man.
Yeah.
And I don't trust a computer to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be interesting to find out. But speaking of $1 billion movies, 3 hours or 4 hours ago, a couple hours ago, we had the new Spider-Man 2 trailer. The second trailer dropped. And I saw it. And, I heard it leaked before and I heard, saw pictures of it. But actually, Sony actually fully released it. It was online. I watched the whole thing. I watched it a few times before we came on. And man, oh man, does it really get me excited to see this movie, man. We finally get the Savage Hulk back. You could see that in there. You can tell this is a different Spider-Man and that from No Way Home to now, he's really changed. Maybe going through some mental health because of everything that's going on. There's a lot of things going on. Darker, deeper Peter, something is happening. He's obviously changing. I think it looks really epic, to be honest with you. I think this looks great. Rob, you're the Spider-Man guy. You saw this trailer. What do you think and what do you expect?
I loved it. I mean, if we finally got to see Savage Hulk, which we kind of knew was coming, but it's still awesome to see him back on the big screen. So that was awesome. We finally got confirmation without them saying it. That is definitely Jean Grey. So she's the one that's just jumping into minds left and right. And funny that only Peter consents her, which is awesome. and then a little bit more of Punisher, which is cool. It's cool to see that Punisher is just like every other guy, you know, whether it's Deborah Wall or Zendaya, when they bat their eyes and say, "Hey, can you help me?" You know, you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help you." You know, because you know, evidently Zendaya makes friends with the Punisher, so that's okay. But my biggest thing with the trailer is that, and this is a thing with Sony, which drives me crazy. I think you're showing too much. You're
Really?
showing a little too much of the movie. And you know, from this trailer, I'm like, I'm already piecing together what's gonna happen. They pretty much showed almost the entire fight with Scorpion, which I did not like. You know, you gotta save some surprises. I mean, I'm sure there's more to see, but I was kind of looking forward to that fight, and now I kind of see how it ends already. So you know, and this is not a Marvel. This is strictly a Sony thing, which is like, I don't know what their problem is. They feel like they have to show you so much for you to get into the theaters. It is a Spider-Man movie. You're gonna get butts in the seats. You don't need to give away the farm for us to get you go and watch it. So, but overall, excellent trailer. I can't wait to see it. I'm not seeing any more trailers though.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we have a clear vision of who the villain really is. I couldn't pick it up yet. Dave, did you see the trailer? The second trailer? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I saw it really randomly. Like, oh, this is all right. Let's watch it. What's happening? I'm prepared to eat every word I said about too many things going on, because I was like, oh, this actually looks fairly balanced. Like, it looks like the storytelling seems fairly balanced. I think I'm going to really enjoy the way they use the Punisher. I could have done without seeing the Hulk, even though like we kind of knew he was going to show up because Banner's we saw him, but like we don't need to see that. Like to Rob's point, like, yo, I'm already going to go. Like, you already have my $52 for tickets, like whatever. But it does look very good. Super Sad Peter is now Super Strong Peter. So I don't know. It does look like it's really good. This trailer, even though it did show us a lot, maybe too much. I get why, Rob, I get why you don't like that we saw so much of the Scorpion fight, but I think it's pretty clear that when they showed him, he plays a very insignificant role in this movie. Like, it's a throwaway thing, just kind of showcasing how strong he's gotten and how he's like, yo, I got to fix my shit. So yeah, it looks good, and now tickets are available. So I gotta.
Okay, I'm ready. I don't think we're gonna see Spider-Man or Hulk in Doomsday at all. I think, I don't think we're gonna see them at all. I think this is gonna kind of push them away. Whatever's gonna happen here, I don't know. Maybe Avengers Secret Wars, they'll come back in, but I think whatever happens here, it's gonna push them away from Doomsday, and then we're gonna see them later in Secret Wars because. And I gotta say, Rob, I always wanted Spider-Man's solo movie, like just Spider-Man, but with all these people in there, I don't know, something about it feels pretty cool seeing Spider-Man get to be with the Hulk, be with the Punisher, be with somebody, but hopefully he evolves and becomes his own person. What do you think?
That's one thing. I did get that vibe too, because no matter what's happening in this movie, even in the trailer, I definitely got the sense that Peter is on his own. The Punisher's probably going to help him out at some point. But, that's the reason why, MJ is actually asking Punisher for help, because Peter's doing it all by himself and he's outnumbered. So, and for that is very much the Peter / Spider-Man that I know in the comic books, because no matter what, he doesn't look for help. It's all on him. And he's going to do it whether, he dies doing it or not. And you know what? That's the Spider-Man I know. And that's what I'm super excited about this movie about.
Do you guys think there's anything with Ned? Maybe because he looks a little bit, he's got a Peter stuff all over it. Like he has something weird. Like, I don't know, maybe he's going to be Hobgoblin. Who knows? But something sounds a little fishy with Ned. I don't know what it is, but to me, what do you think?
I don't know. They haven't shown enough of him. I was a little surprised to see that bit in the trailer. I'll go back and watch it, but I don't know. We don't get to see enough of what he's doing yet to like make that decision.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Peter's front and center, like everyone else is like a supporting player, whereas in No Way Home, like it was just chock full of characters and everyone got their time to shine. Like Tom Holland was not the most interesting character in that movie, you know what I mean? Whereas here I feel like everyone else is just supporting whatever he's doing, so it definitely doesn't feel like all the shit I was talking about it months ago.
100%. I think tickets are on sale this week, or are they on sale now?
Yeah.
Now, I think.
Yeah, I'm understand now. Yeah, okay. I know my kids are like, you better get us tickets. I'm like, all right, I gotta go see my kids. I gotta see it, but they want to see it, so I'm like, okay, no problem. So Spider-Man 2 trailer really looks good. Let's go and see it. All right, guys, let's wrap up really quickly. Some questions here. Um, Rebecca R from Austin, New York says, "Hey Rob, quick question without getting too personal. What generally scares you as a horror writer? I'm always curious to how people in that space think."
Oh man. What
Am I good?
scares me the
Am I good
most?
enough?
Wait, what,
Am I good enough?
am I good enough? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Actually, I think it's more like the it's the that you have people like you're trying to like either protect or look out for, and whatever the danger is, it's like it's almost like it's too much for you to prevent that happening for somebody else. So it's like, I guess, well, how can I put this? So in certain horror movies, whether it's like, the best friend or a wife or even a child, which is even the one that's even drives me, obviously not that I'm a parent, whatever, is something's coming for them, not you. And it's like you're the one that, has to figure this out. And you're outgunned, you're outnumbered, you're out of your element.
Mhm.
And that's a real time fear with just me personally. So it's like, having innocence being threatened, that to me is like it's scary because as like as a protector that you feel like you want to be protected, but then you see yourself as like you're not really at that level. So what do
Mhm.
you do? That's probably my big primal fear when it comes to that. And
Mhm.
then I freak myself out, staring at a empty closet with the lights off, and you're like, all right, I know that's a hanger, but that kind of looks like somebody.
All right. Frank G from Brooklyn, New York says, "Dave, can you rank all the Ghostbusters movies and include the cartoon in your list?"
Yeah.
Okay.
One is the first one.
Okay.
I think the second one for me is going to be Afterlife,
Okay.
and then we got. Does the cartoon might come before two?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then two, and then Frozen Empire,
Okay.
and
All right.
then I'm not going to rank the 2016 movie because people would just lose their minds. It's fine. It's fine. It's not canon. It exists somewhere else. It exists in the Feige verse or the
Yeah.
Feige verse, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. Rob, I don't know. Belleville's having a car show this Saturday in Belleville here. All the Batmobile is going to be there. All the cars got kit. All
Okay.
The
DeLorean.
DeLorean. Tell them the DeLorean. That'll get
DeLorean's
them.
If the
going to be there.
DeLorean's there, I mean,
It's free admission. So if your kids want to come, I'm going to be there. Dave's probably going to meet up with me. It's from
okay,
11 to 4 on Saturday, Belleville, New Jersey. I can send you the link. I mean, it's free admission.
please.
All the cars are going to be there. So maybe your kids want to see Jurassic Park. The Mr. Scooby machine, the mystery machine is going to be there. So everything's going to be
Okay.
there.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Send me that link.
Welcome to
Let's
come.
go.
All right. So the next question here. Ben W says, Mr. Rob, what horror franchise do you think has the strongest legacy?
Oh man, the strongest legacy. Ooh, man. Man, I got it.
Give them some parameters. What you think makes a good legacy? Because there's at least 3 or 4 characters or franchises, but like just because they have permeated doesn't mean that they're good.
Yeah.
It's true. Honestly, the one that just comes to mind because I thought even though the middle movie that trilogy was weak, was the Exorcist franchise.
Okay.
Because the first one, it was just like it just literally blew everybody's mind and scared the shit out of everybody in the theaters. It was such a phenomenon when it came out. The second one was, it was a continuation, but it was like, all right, there was some moments for it in that movie, that for sure, but it's not a great one. But what kind of like rounded all up was part three, which is one of those movies where it's like it's just as terrifying as the first one, in my opinion, but it had such a different. It had the legacy characters there, but just it was more evolved, and there was a definitive endpoint. Like you could see why they ended it the way they did because the first movie ends with Father Karras
Hmm.
sacrifice himself for the child.
Hmm.
And then at the end, you see that he never really sacrificed himself. He actually was trapped, and he needed a definitive end, and that movie gave it to him. So that legacy, and you could tell like that kind of movie has inspired so many possession movies up to this point. Even a remake, I believe, that's coming out right now, and they've tried it more than a couple times. So it's like that possession genre where it's like it's always going to be the king, the standard for any other movie that relates to any type of possession, demon possession movies.
Okay. Next question here says from Tom G. Hillsdale, New Jersey. Joe, I saw you recently had a few mafia members on show. What is your favorite mafia movie? I think it would have to be Goodfellas or Gotti with Armando Sante, the Gotti movie. You know, and believe it or not, I don't know if you guys noticed, John Gotti bought me an ice cream cone when I was about 11 years old. Believe it or not.
Kidding.
Yeah, that's a true story. He bought me and like 10 kids. So but I just happened to be there and he bought, but yes.
Yeah, he bought it with laundered money. That's why he's
exactly. So that's my John Gotti story. Yes. He bought
that's
me.
Great.
I was like 11 years old, you know, because my friend's father was in the mob. So, you know, that's why. All right. Next question is Greg H. New Milford. He says, did you guys hear about Sebastian Stan may not be Two-Face, but Victor Zsasz in the Batman? Yes, I did hear that. Did you guys hear that?
I did.
Yeah, I did hear that also. That's kind of interesting. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and Two-Face is oh my god, I forget the actor's name, but it's oh my god, he was just in Eternals, the guy Fasto, the guy who did like the technology type, that actor. I think he's the one that's rumored to be Two-Face.
Okay, interesting. All right, that's interesting. All right, guys, that is it for this week. Another great show. Maybe I'll see you guys Saturday. I'll be at the car show. I can send you stuff. I'll be there. So, Dave, if you come down, let me know. Dress up the Ghostbuster.
Yep.
We're going to do some stuff. Rob, bring the kids. Come down. We'll all be there.
All right.
All right, guys. All right. See you guys next week or Saturday. All right, guys. All right. Talk to you later, my friends. You got it, bro.
Started from nothing. Jersey streets, we owned it. JerZey pumping iron. Body builder coding. Years on the course.